the next minutes, we're going to continue our Great Instructor series, talking with Pam Chu. Now, when you hear that name, I would assume that you're teaching Chinese here. Is that correct?
No, I teach Italian, and English is a second language. But Chu, my father was a second-generation Chinese to San Francisco.
Well, how did you become fluent in Italian?
I won a grant with Rotary International and went to Florence to study art criticism.
And you continued with that, been back to Italy countless times. You've
Yes.
been able to study. What kind of classes do you teach at TCC in Italian? How many different levels?
Well, right now I have everything from level 1 through intermediate literature, but a student can get an associate's degree in Italian from TCC as well as a certificate. In the summer I have a very interesting offering. I do an intensive institute.
Now, how long would that be? It's kind of an immersion is what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes, it's sort of the method used in Italy. What happens is a student arrives on a Monday morning and stays with me from 9 until 2:30 for 8 days. And that is 3 credit hours. And I promise you, at the end of those 8 days, you would be able to go to Italy.
What a great idea. Now, some people do go to Italy from TCC or enrolled students here. Is
Yes.
that correct?
No, that's right. We're going to leave, in fact, this year, we leave every year in early May, right after graduation. And we have an international Italian campus. We're in Sorrento, Italy, and students live in a villa that is built into the wall of the mountain, and they attend language classes in the day, and then cooking lessons in the evening, and have a chance to practice, but they only unpack once. That's the idea. So they learn to live in another country rather than having short stops.
Now, you also, although you are employed here at TCC, TCC partners with OSU Stillwater. How do you do that?
Yes, this is something I'm really proud of. I've been teaching Italian, all different levels, to Stillwater via ITV, and students can begin at TCC, level 1 and level 2. If they transfer on to OSU, they can view me live and continue on, because many times students need 15 credit hours. So I can teach, for example, right now, I'm teaching a class live in front of me at Northeast Campus. I have students enrolled at West Campus at TCC, and I have students live at Stillwater. So all 3 sites are going on live, and we all see each other. I just have to flip a switch, and the students at Stillwater can see the students at TCC. Students at TCC can see the West Campus student, and it works very well.
Well, it works very well. You're a talented instructor. I've been involved in ITV and instruction via that for well over a decade now, and you are, A++ in terms of teaching in that venue.
Thank you.
What is the challenge of teaching over ITV, especially a language?
Well, first of all, you have to know how to multitask, because when I walk into the ITV room at Northeast Campus, I have minimum 6 remotes. So I feel, I have 6 remotes with countless buttons, but after a while, it's easy to master. But the advantages are the fact that it's giving a possibility for example, right now, I have a professor enrolled at OSU who is not a language professor, but needs this in her field of expertise, while I'm able to also instruct students who are art history background, and many of them just don't have the ability to drive here. And this just allows me to reach that many great distances.
Now, you teach beyond just languages. I mean, you're very much involved in allowing a student to understand culture, even the cooking stuff.
Yes.
Talk about that range.
Well, 3 classes I've just recently created are for non-language majors. One of them is culinary. And as we know, in the States, probably the last 15 years, lots of different culinary schools have popped up. We have 2 wonderful schools just in our area, in Okmulgee and in Bartlesville, in which people need a background in culinary language and being able to understand recipes and ingredients. And also in this culinary course, it kind of gives a student the background of why Italians eat what they eat and where it comes from. While the two other classes that are sort of very unique, one is for studio arts. Say a student from TCC is studying studio arts and has a chance to go to Italy or still remain in the States and do studio arts. They need to know many times vocabulary, art vocabulary, for supplies, paints, brushes, canvases, techniques, chiaroscuro, for example. And then the third one is just students who are humanities students who have a chance to learn about everything from the Etruscans all the way through up to modern day, the government of Berlusconi, the famous prime minister. But right now, Loren, one thing also to be able to understand that's happening with the crises that are taking place and in Libya, for example, or in Tunisia. In North Africa, many Americans don't realize the impact of these refugees, where the closest spot is indeed Sicily. It's only a boat ride. So understanding that many of these countries were former Italian-speaking, Libya of one, this is how the language plays in today into politics.
There's so much. I've got to ask what may seem like a frivolous question, but I want to ask it anyhow. All right, you talk about Italian food. What's your favorite Italian food?
Oh, that's tough, but I would probably say it's insalata caprese. It's fresh buffalo mozzarella. It's fresh tomatoes, basil, and olive oil. Simple, always simplicity.
Do you promise to put that recipe on your class Blackboard site for potential students?
I promise. I'll put, insalata caprese on my site.
All right, TCC, 14 different foreign languages. Few major universities offer that many different foreign languages. What kind of grade would you give TCC on language instruction?
A+. I mean, we are nationally known, very unusual to have a school with 14 languages. I'm so proud of this program and so really proud to be part of it. We're known across the United States for our language offerings.
Pam Chu, thank you so much for visiting with us.
Thank you, Loren. Thank you.